should be careful there, big boy. Yeah, that's all I can say. Two personalities were in the news over the last couple of days for all the wrong reasons. Both were arrested by the police. One, of course, is Tommy Robinson.
Mm.
He was arrested in Canada for immigration infractions.
Mm.
And the other was Greta Thunberg by the Helsinki police for not dispersing after a protest. Neither were hard done to. In the case of Robinson, his visa application stated this is why he was arrested, right?
Yeah.
His visa application, electronic visa application, stated that he has never been convicted in a court case in the UK, which is not true.
Yeah.
Right. And he was in Canada to give anti-government speeches. Right.
Yeah.
So it's not really giving the police much wriggle room
No.
to turn a blind eye.
No. Oh, well.
When he's up on stage saying that the Prime Minister swat.
Well, yeah.
Sorry about that, people.
Yeah.
So, I've written note to self: if I want to enter a country illegally, don't give subversive speeches in public. So that's just a reminder for me.
Yes.
If I want to sneak into another country, keep your head low,
basically. Yeah. Well, yes.
I mean, after all, 10 million illegals in the US can't be wrong, can they? It's only those that get caught murdering people that are found out.
Yeah. Occasionally they go on TikTok as well, but yeah, okay. Move on there.
But anyway, there was a video. There was a video with him in the back of the police car.
Oh yeah,
and you saw it. He complained that that everybody's entering Canada illegally, and basically said if everybody else is entering in Canada illegally, why can't I? It's not a really good. It's not really a very good sort of justification.
No, well,
and
I'll get
he
onto
said
that in a minute,
that the police said to him that he was being arrested because of this wrong information on the visa application.
Yeah.
He said, well, it wasn't me that filled out the application.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
Which is another difficult justification to make.
Yeah.
Because he's responsible for his application. He said it was his boss, which normally means it's somebody from what's it called? Rebel News.
Yeah.
That did it for him.
Well, yeah.
Put him in the clique. Where he thought when you go to a place, he used to do 3 or 4 of these speeches, and of course these speeches are not free. He gets paid for each.
Yeah.
Normally, if you're an artist or a rebel, in the case of although I must admit I do agree with a lot of what he says. However, he's getting a paid gig, and normally what artists do is they wait till they get 3 or 4 in one area, and that pays for the light and pays for the stay.
Yeah. Well,
get some money in the pocket as well.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, it looks like Rebel News put the kibosh on that because he was arrested after one gig.
Yeah.
And he wasn't allowed to move out of the city to go and do his other gigs. So somebody's going to have to pay for his hotel while he's waiting for the judge next week he's going to get deported, of course.
Well, yeah.
Which means he won't be able to go back to Canada. So,
he likes getting better by the day. That's right. Yeah. Sorry, Canadians. Yeah.
But he could go back to Canada, I suppose, if he uses the name Stephen Yaxley.
Well, yeah. I mean, they knew about that because they asked him what he wanted to be called. So they're well aware.
No, what I mean is,
yeah.
If he gets a passport with Stephen Yaxley on it instead of Tommy Robinson,
Yeah.
he But anyway,
yeah,
I died.
yeah.
In the case of Greta, now we all know that she announced 6 years ago that if fossil fuels were not stopped immediately,
Yes, I remember that. Yeah,
it would result in the end of mankind within 5 years.
Yeah.
That, of course, was 6 years ago.
Okay. Well,
you know, she was only 14 years old at the time.
Right. Okay.
And she did remove the post shortly after it was reported that the scientist who they got this from was certainly misquoted. He only said that the ice caps would end in 5 years' time if they didn't, which of course they didn't.
No.
The ice caps are still there. So shame on him too. Shame on him too.
Well, whatever. Yeah. It's
because he's one of these scientists, these many scientists that said that the science is settled. You know, well.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about that, sir.
Yeah.
But as Thunberg was a poster girl of global warming,
yeah,
she was handed a misquote to tell the world. She wasn't watching this speech, and she didn't write down the notes. Somebody handed them to her of what she had to say. And if you hand a 14-year-old autistic girl with Asperger's disease, she's going to enter in panic, and she's going to put a full weight behind what she believes to be true.
Yeah, I mean, it's
so shame on the people who's behind her using her political means. And I say her parents are selling her down the river.
Well, of course,
because it's the parents.
Disgraceful, really. But yes, okay. I wouldn't put my own child in that situation, but that's it.
They're Swedish, so I'm sure that there's a reason behind it. You know, in Helsinki, she gave a speech in front of their parliament, and after the protest, as a number of the organization wouldn't disperse after the protest, she was one of the arrested people. The Finns were happy to allow her to have a protest.
Yeah.
But after they're in Helsinki, they're in Finland. Once you've had your protest, that's it. You have to free up the space. And apparently they were blocking tram lines, they were blocking roads.
Yeah.
So emergency vehicles couldn't go through and all this. So they were arrested because they wouldn't go away.
Yes.
Of course, this arrest was portrayed to make her look like a martyr. You know.
Cool. Yeah.
But the thing is that these days she's 21 years old now. Time flies. And so she's lost the childhood charm of that cheeky little girl who told the UN, "Shame on you."
Yeah, cheeky. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yes, she's poor Greta. Yeah, poor Greta. Yeah, lost her education to fight a good cause.
Yeah.
Yes, I know what my parents' response would be.
I lost my education for a good cause because I hardly ever went to school either. But it was I'm what was called a truant.
Yeah. All right. Yes.
Colloquially known as wagging it. I was
wagging it. Yeah. All I can say, Steve, it still shows. Sorry. I became a prefect in my last year. There we go. But yeah.
Good on you. Apple polisher.
You cleaned it up a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
So anyway, she's 21. And she seems to be wanting to be arrested. To keep herself in the forefront of all things.
Yeah.
Of all things climate. You know, recently she was arrested I think it was in Germany.
Oh yeah.
Well, not so long ago. And funnily enough, the protest that she was at, I don't think it was about climate. It was about something else.
Oh yeah, she's another one now that seems to attend the opening of an envelope or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's
got to get her gigs where she can.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's like you were just sort of saying, when you go, you got to get got to earn your money somehow. Yeah, pay for your flights. Pay for it. Yeah, she must fly to these places. I can't see her getting there any other way. Yeah. Anyway.
Yes. Oh, she rode across the Atlantic.
Sailed, yeah. With
apparently once or twice she almost swam as the boat began to flounder. But I digress. Over to you on this.
Yeah. Good if she didn't meet any whales. Don't know about that. Right. Again, these individuals are dressed individually. Tommy Robinson, he's a personality. He got together a good gig in London a few weeks ago, which is quite enjoyable. Actually, I saw some of it. I like the music, the concert. It takes a lot to organise these things. He's a seasoned campaigner. Now, yes, he does raise important issues, and like you say, I mean, I don't disagree with what he says. He is going to be a bit of he's a bit of a firebrand, which you probably have to be, and a bit of a fearless. And I'm going to use it as he's a bit of a thug as well. But okay, so be it. But he's raised the profile of a few things that we both know about, and I wouldn't say get behind, but not our heads in agreement with. Let's put it that way.
What I'm doing now.
Yeah, that's it. Yes. Yeah, I saw this thing arrest in Canada. I mean, I think the Canadian police authorities handled it very badly. Insofar as the fact he had a 3-hour, whatever interview at the immigration. He shouldn't have got as far as he did. It's a showpiece. It really is. I remember watching a program as a drama, and I've read the book, or some of the books by Tom Sharp, was Blot on the Landscape, which was about a development that was happening, protests and all that. And these people were making a protest and wanted to be arrested. I remember that the local politician's wife got herself arrested, and do your job, officer, sort of thing.
Just stop oil.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, make a point. Yes.
Spray paint, and they'll sit down waiting for the police.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Well, some to actually super glue themselves to the place as well, but that's they can't go anywhere anyway. Yeah. Excuse me, I mean, I'm not going to say what just come into my mind. I'll leave that to the end of this. But so I mean, okay, he's a protest. It was all on camera. Rebel News. An interesting alternative news outlet. They make good points as well. It's very, very possible that he may have. I mean, if you didn't know Tommy Robinson's history and you filled in like that, it's hardly a secret. He spent time in prison for a couple of things. Whether or not you agree with the original sentence, original convictions or not, that's another matter. Ultimately, he's got it until that gets overturned. I don't know if they were overturned. I think they were overturned, if I remember rightly, but I can't remember. Yeah. If they're overturned, that's a different matter. I think that the authorities in Canada were trying to make a statement, and probably it's blown back on them. They're following the law. They're following the law, or the guys on the ground for following the law. Yeah.
I just think that if you were going to Canada, it would have been better for him if he went to Canada on a tourist visa and did his speeches.
Yeah,
nobody would have looked twice.
Yeah,
because he because if you go into places like Canada, Australia,
well,
you say you've got convictions on your application form for your visa, you're rejected straight away. Right? You're rejected. I mean, and I think that's why they put he's got no convictions.
Well,
through the system, it's electronic system.
Yeah.
The electronic system doesn't flag it.
Right. I'm going to say this. I know from members of my family who have been deported from places, and I'm not going to say what or who, but they've gone to visit the places and they've been picked up straight away. Now, okay, Employer Rebel News, probably somebody in the office may not have known about it before and done that. Okay. Again, it's what he may have been asked in the immigration interview. Somebody there knew who he was when he was going through. People in the US know all about Tommy Robinson. People, you know who's coming in. I mean, he has a fair point about immigration, but let's put that aside issue. For me, it's the authorities making a statement about it, trying to scare people. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. We don't know. I believe the court case is today or tomorrow or something. I'm not entirely certain. We'll find out. They've already got a top lawyer on his side onto it.
Yeah, of course.
It's a big show trial now. I mean, but I honestly can't understand why. Why, if there was this issue known, any of us would have been put on the next plane available flight and sent back to the UK. Why are they going through this process? I do not know.
I think it's because you have to go before a judge who makes the decision, and not necessarily the guys on. Because he'd got past the airport.
Yeah, well, this is what's strange for me.
Inside the airport, it's like no man's land.
Yeah, it's international. Yeah.
If you get caught there, then they can send you straight back. You just don't get accepted into the country that you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
As he passed through that space, then it becomes a thing for the justice, and not the no man's land. International law, so it becomes a domestic case.
Yeah,
and
but they had suspicions about him because he spent 4 hours in the immigrant. There's something that doesn't look. Okay, this is speculation. I know exactly what you're saying, and we both know a bit about immigration as well because we've travelled and we live somewhere where we're both good boys, saintly boys, because we know the score if we're not. But it's a there's something that just seems very, very strange to me about it all. That he got as far as he did, and they were waiting for him.
It may be, Mark, that he passed through the immigration with a work visa.
Yeah.
And he would only become illegal if he worked. And that's why they waited until that time.
Well, no, if he came,
they got him after the speech.
Well, if he came through the tourist and he worked, if he came through the tourist visa and he worked, he'd been in trouble there.
He didn't. He was an electronic work visa.
Yeah, in which case,
so it only becomes illegal, I suppose, if he works.
Yeah,
because otherwise they could be, if he's got a right to be in Canada anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say that
under a tourist visa.
Yeah.
Then he's on a tourist visa. He's on a tourist visa, even though he's got a work visa.
Yeah.
That's running parallel. The work visa will only become invalid if he works, because he lied on the form. So they had to wait for him to work before they.
I'm not totally buying it at the moment. I'll be quite honest, Steve.
I mean, I've been doing acrobatics, thinking about it myself.
Yeah, I know.
That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, I mean, no, not funny. I mean, none of us are immigration lawyers, isn't it? The immigration lawyers are scratching their heads over it, it would appear. I mean, I mean, yeah, they could have got him in a judge straight away and then stamped him and put him back on a plane. I mean, he actually asked to go back and he's told, no, you're going to be staying here indefinitely or something. So the whole thing seems weird. Now,
Well, indefinitely until the judge.
Well, okay. Well, whatever. Yeah, I mean, he wants to get back for his birthday because he's a good family man as well. I mean, I believe that about him actually. The whole thing just doesn't ring true for me. I think the whole thing, I wouldn't say it's a show trial, or it's somebody has done something, or somebody's made a mistake on the authority side at the airport, or somebody's been sympathetic. I mean, again, I'm going to be careful. Podcast. This is only me speculating, or somebody's been sympathetic to him somewhere in Canada. The police were not totally hostile to him. They were doing their job. The way the policeman replied to him in the car, well, yeah, I'm only a bobby on the ground, mate. The police knew that there was something a little bit amiss from his tone and the way he was. Yeah, okay, Tommy Robinson is a bit of he does make lots of noise. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Oh, there you are. I went to the US for a week or so.
Yeah.
Some years ago on a tourist visa. We don't even need a tourist visa. We just go. We just
turn
up, and we're allowed to have special relationships and all
that.
Yeah. But I went there to work, and I did the job. I was translating for a couple of people, and came back. I just kept a low profile, and nobody. I wasn't arrested, but then of course I wasn't on a stage with a microphone shouting at a couple of thousand people.
Yes.
When I came here to Brazil, funnily enough, I was a vocalist, active vocalist, and I asked the federal police if when I made the application, I said, look, I know I have to wait for the permanency thing to come through.
Yeah.
And I was still on a touristy visa in the meantime. I said, will I be able to perform here in Brazil? He said, look, as long as you don't make a big song dance about it, I suppose.
Yes.
What they were trying to say. I said, but that's what I do. Anyway.
Yeah.
They said, just do it subtly, and then nobody will bother with you. And I think that was the second mistake. The first mistake for Robinson was not being truthful on the form, and the second mistake was being really highlighting himself.
Well, this is Tommy Robinson. Wherever he goes, he'll highlight himself somehow. But there you are. I mean, okay, he's a folk hero in the UK. Now, Miss Fomberg. I'm going to not be a friend here for a moment. I mean, I don't know the girl. I mean, I don't know her. I've read relatively little about her. I'm aware of her. I kind of agree. Again, like Mr. Robinson, it's not always it's not the message I condemn. It doesn't matter the messenger if the message is there, sort of thing. But I agree with some what she says. We do have to be mindful about the environment. I don't disagree. We should be looking for alternatives to fossil fuels for a variety of different reasons. But yeah, you can't just stop them. I mean, anyone's interested, on Tuesday we're planning a podcast that's going to be released about this kind of thing. And it's used to you, really? Oh, okay. Yeah, you'll see. But it's how can I put it? She has a message. Okay, she was used as part of a publicity campaign stunt, something. She hasn't quite life expired. She's still got a degree of kudos around her. She's having to reinvent herself all the time because probably didn't spend enough time at school studying and didn't been able to do anything else. I think her parents are quite well off. I don't know that much. Like I said, I don't know that much about her. She's not somebody I've read a lot about anymore. And I've read a lot about Mr. Robinson. It's a, yeah, okay. She gets publicity. You see, she's quite happy to be arrested. You know, she gets the pictures taken, and oh, look at me, I'm the martyr. I've been arrested for free speech. When in fact, yeah, like Mr. Robinson, she may have infringed the laws. It's not as though they aren't a protest, more than Mr. and Tommy Robinson isn't allowed to protest or say anything, even in Canada at the moment. But it's going to be her sell-by date is going to run out very, very soon. And one day she'll do something quite big and end up having to do some time in a prison somewhere, possibly. She's being used, and she's always been used throughout her career. Yeah, when she was under 18, I'd have called it child abuse personally, but which, you know, is questionable. Some people in the entertainment industry suffered that kind of thing. As to her future, that's going to be interesting. As to Mr. Robinson, he's a big boy. Wait and see. I think he'll be all right. I think he'll come out of it in his position.